Let's look at the Solomba border thing. I've been hearing people that you played some role in it.
Yes.
What do you know about what brought us down this path?
You know, I'm up to present. I keep wondering why is it that the actual report has not yet come to Liberian people.
There is a report?
There was a report. The report was forwarded to the National Security Council. The report was presented to the president. And when the report was dated, our first visit in Foya, a very beautiful area, and the Joint Security Commander briefed us when we were seated there. In that meeting was the representation of the Ministry of Justice. The Assistant Minister for Correction was there. During that meeting, there was an Assistant Minister for Defense who was there. The Chief of Staff of the Army was there. The Minister of Internal Affairs, now local government, was there. We had other people also from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We had the Ambassador Pearson, who also was there. And the gentleman was very clear that we were instructed by the commissioner to move our flag from where it had been to this location. And when he did that presentation, I was very clear. Immediately, I said to the Minister of Internal Affairs.
Who the gentleman said it?
The gentleman who said it was a Joint Security Commander. So I immediately asked him, who ordered you to take the flag from where it had been to a new location by the riverside here? And he said, the commissioner. Immediately,
that is the commissioner from their side.
The commissioner from their side.
The Guinean side. Okay.
No, from Liberia side. It was a Liberia Joint Security Commander who took Liberia flag from where the flag had been for the past 30, 40 years.
And move it closer to the water.
And I asked the question in front of the Internal Affairs Minister, in front of the Chief of Staff of the Army, in front of the representation of the Ministry of Justice, in front of the representation of the Ministry of National Defense.
No, Sheikh, take it easy. This is
serious.
Yeah, and this is the first time hearing this one.
And I asked the gentleman, who sent you? And he said, the person who ordered me is the commissioner. So right there, I said to the minister, I said, Minister? He said, yes. I said, are you aware that the commissioner, did you give any order to the commissioner to this? The superintendent there said, Ambassador, please, we'll talk about this, but we are not here to talk about that now. They cut it off. When we crossed the border to Guinea, is where I got the full story. When we got to Guinea Minister of Administration and Territorial stated to us, before we go into any discussion, take your flag from where you have placed it now and carry it back to where it had been for the past 50 years. Then our Minister of our Internal Affairs said to him that you should know that today we have a president who is also a Kisi, and when you look across the road on the side is Kisi, on that side is Kisi, so there's no differences between the two countries. And the minister was very clear. He said to us, there were President Doe, there were Taylor, there were Ellen, there were George Weah, and other past leaders. But why none of them took your flag from where it had been and brought it at the front here? It is only you. When that happened after the meeting, we came back. We were told to relocate the flag back to where it was before we had any other discussion. The only request that the minister asked all that day, and I was interpreting, and they kept asking, what prompted you people to move a flag from one area to another? What is the intention? We could not find the answer. And sadly, when we did the communication, the report to the president, in that report, it was not included in the report that the Minister of Internal Affairs, now Minister of Local Government, was the one instructed his commissioner, and the commissioner instructed the Joint Security to move our flag from one area to another. That is where we got the problem.
Oh, that portion was not included in the report?
That was not included in the report. So I was told to sign the report. I refused to sign the report. When I refused to sign the report...
On that ground?
On that ground. And then I went to the Minister of Foreign Affairs. I said, Madam Minister, this is what happened. We went there. Before we talk about how do we resolve it, let's ask ourselves, how did it begin? And this is how it began. And I explained to her that where our flag used to be, I think it is where it is now, was taken from there, closer to the riverbank, by the instruction of the Minister of Internal Affairs, now Minister of Local Government. And I didn't stop there. All of those who went for the meeting, I said to them, we even had a meeting in Guinea. Before the Guinea could give response to us, we went in the street, they call it prefect. In the prefect office, we had a meeting among ourselves. And I said to the minister, this issue can be resolved very easily. They say, how can it be resolved? I said, suspend the commissioner for time indefinite and ask the authority of Guinea, sorry, that the decision that was made by the commissioner, the government of Liberia is unaware of it. So his suspension would reduce the tension. They all said no, that's not the best way. And we left. There was nobody suspended. So when I spoke to the foreign minister, I didn't stop there. The foreign minister advised me, meet the president and explain to him. And I